You read that title right. I am done with game development. Of We Are Not Alone, which is now available on Steam, Epic, and GOG. If you haven't had a chance to go check it out, I would love it if you could. It's going well. Response has been great. If you haven't had a chance yet, there are links down in the description to go check out We Are Not Alone. Let's get into the video. I honestly can't believe that We Are Not Alone is now finished, that it's been released. It's been a crazy year, like over a year, of me quitting my job, making the demo, applying for funding, doing crowdfunding, and just making all these changes and hitting that release button on Steam. It is, and other platforms, is a crazy, surreal feeling, but one that is just absolutely amazing and terrifying at the same time. Big apologies for lack of videos. I know I've done this before where I just kind of disappear for a bit, but that's usually when something insane is happening, and obviously that was the launch of the game. So I set the release date for the 28th of March, and we'll find out soon. That probably was not the smartest idea there was. The timing of it was just before holidays, so family stuff happening as well, was absolutely ridiculous. And just trying to get everything done in that last month, it was super tense. I was spending 14 to 16 hours a day testing, trying to get everything done, trying to squash every bug. And as every developer knows, you can't squash every bug before launch. Something else pops up. Someone does something slightly different, and it all just goes to hell. There was a lot of stress involved, and as it was approaching that 28th of March release date, I had a feeling that maybe I should push it back. But that's not something I wanted to do. I wanted to just push insanely hard to get it done, because I didn't want my first impression of We Are Not Alone for other people to be, hey, this developer can't stick to things he says. That is just a really bad thing, which we'll touch on a little bit later in terms of something else, but you know, public perception and me always just being completely concerned by it. So anyway, it's now 2 weeks later. We Are Not Alone released on the 28th of March, and it still kind of doesn't feel real. But anyway, let's talk about a few things. First of all, my mental state. I said in a few devlogs that I was really concerned going into the launch period for We Are Not Alone that I would be getting nightmares and just constant fear, anxiety, and just being absolutely terrified of what was to come, because that was my experience when I released my first game, 7th Chance. I had nightmares for weeks before launch. I had nightmares. With We Are Not Alone, it was really different. I didn't experience that until after launch. I think it was probably the fact that I was working crazy hours. I didn't have a chance to actually stop, and my brain just didn't have a chance to dream anything, good or bad. So yeah, the problems came after launch, and 2 weeks, well, almost 2 weeks later, I'm still recovering from it. The launch date that I picked was good in that it was fairly far away and gave me time to try and get the game released and ready. But what I didn't realize when setting that release date, because I was so laser focused on just getting the game complete, is that I picked the Easter long weekend, which means it is a lot of family stuff, and frankly, it was a really bad idea. It was good timing in the fact that it was between Steam sales, but for the family stuff, it was, you know, I was an hour away from being able to do anything if anything cropped up. What I'm talking about is that as a solo developer, everything that can go wrong or will go wrong, any small bugs, game-breaking bugs, it's on me. And that is this weird mentality I've got, but we'll get into that soon as well. But if someone comes across a small bug, I have to fix it. If it's a big bug, I have to fix it. Which is why I should really be near my computer at all times, especially in that launch window. It's very crucial, and I wasn't able to be. So that first morning before I headed to my parents' place to enjoy some family time with them, I had done a small patch. Someone had reported a really tiny bug, so I went ahead, fixed it, got it out there, and was happy. I'm like, oh yeah, this is fine. This is what I am going to coin as a term, which is panic patching. So you see something small, you're like, oh crap, I really got to fix this because someone might encounter it. You go, quickly fix it. You don't think, hey, maybe I was doing some testing the night before. Maybe I didn't reset a testing variable. Maybe I didn't put back a spawn location at the end of the game that will affect every single player who plays the game, and they'll just be stuck in a blue endless void of falling. Who'd do that, right? But yeah, who did that? I did that. That was a really terrifying game-breaking bug. I was an hour away from being able to fix it. I knew exactly what it was. I knew the root cause. If I had my computer there, I could have fixed it in 5 minutes and uploaded a patch. And it completely ruined the time with my family. I was not happy that day. But yeah, I got home, I fixed it quickly, it seems fine, and then a couple of days later we had the Easter Sunday lunch, and then stayed with my parents, and that was cool. I was able to just relax a bit after that. But in terms of patches, if you've already purchased We Are Not Alone, if you did it, especially in the first couple of days, you'll see that there were, I think, about 12 patches, probably 5 per day for the first 2 days, and then like slowed down after that. Because anything that anyone brought up, I would quickly patch and just push out a new update as quick as I possibly could. Each one of these patches was really stress-inducing. And the reason for that is that I have this mentality where I'm going to launch. This is my full-time job now. I need to be making money from this. My thing is that, hey, if someone encounters a small little problem, a game-breaking bug especially, then they're going to immediately refund. They won't be telling their friends, hey, go buy this cool game, the story's really cool, everything's good, go buy it. It'll just be refund, don't mention it. The worst comment I got on my first game, 7th Chance, was, I'm blacklisting this dev. They weren't happy that the game was short, even though it said it in the thing. That's beside the point. I'm just trying to explain why my mind goes there, because of past experience. I want people to enjoy the game. I want people to buy the game. It's just, yeah, just really, really was stressful. And that's something I'm trying to kind of not divide my brain, because that would be quite painful. Just trying to give myself time to process these things and set aside times for patching, times for stressing about the game, and time for unwinding, because I just launched a freaking game. But anyway, let's get on to the next thing, which is, do I want to keep making games? So do I want to keep making games? This isn't a quick answer, and it's something that's taken me a while to kind of figure out. By the time We Are Not Alone launched, I still wasn't sick of it. I was still enjoying it, and the fact the more I playtested it, the more I felt proud of myself and what I'd been able to do. But the last couple of weeks leading up to launch, and especially the week after launch, which was insanely stressful, I found myself thinking, do I want to be putting myself through this stress again? Do I want to still be making games? Can I make games? Which loops back to the imposter syndrome stuff I was talking about last video. I was seriously just wondering, do I want to, and can I keep doing this? And yeah, it wasn't until I finally sat down to play a game that wasn't mine. There was no patching to be done at the time. I sat down to play some Dragon's Dogma 2. And I was playing, I got about, half an hour into it, and I just paused, and I'm like, my brain is telling me to open up the engine and start the next game immediately. And that's when I realized that, yes, I want to keep doing this. I can't imagine doing anything else again. If I have to, I have to, but we'll see how things go. I'm really, really excited for the next project. There's something I do want to cover in this video very briefly. It's something that could easily be an entire video all by itself, and that's just a few of the lessons I've learned. Number one is I need to slow down. I've mentioned in devlogs before that when I'm working, I get so hyper-focused that any distractions just cause me to basically freak out. But I also get so hyper-focused that I forget to hydrate. I forget to breathe, which is absolutely terrifying. You'll be sitting there and all of a sudden your brain just kind of like clicks and you just gasp so much air because you have forgotten to breathe. You're so focused. Yeah, it's just something I'm trying to do. It's this self-help kind of stuff, the meditation I've talked about, just trying to slow my brain and be more conscious of what I'm doing. And that leads to, no more panic patching as well, because that just leads to so many problems, because you're trying to do things fast and do it for everyone. Trying to please everyone is not doable. The other thing as a lesson learned is an art style change. So from the start, I was happy with the art style of We Are Not Alone. It was all super low poly, and then I got a bee in my bonnet about wanting to have better quality character models so I could show some emotion. And then the character models didn't fit the environment, so I updated the environments, and then the environments didn't match with the character models, and then we ended up with what we see here in the release. Now, the thing is, don't get me wrong, I think the game looks awesome, and I don't think I could have done a lot of the stuff I did in the game without changing this art style. But, lesson I've learned is focus more on figuring out the art style first. It's just, I think I was really excited and just so psyched to get into this idea that I just quickly as possible started making something and just released and revealed that to everyone, rather than, you know, just spending time figuring things out first. The other thing I've learned is so many demos. Oh my god. Demos were kind of beneficial. A lot of people enjoyed it. I think I got like tens of thousands of demo downloads, but only about 500 people played it, and for really short amounts of time. So I don't know how beneficial the demo was. There are circumstances where it is really important, such as crowdfunding, and there's a few people that, yeah, they streamed it and then they came on to be voice actors in the game because they really liked what the game was about. The demo was important for me because I wanted to convey what the mechanics were. Marketing something with the unique mechanics of We Are Not Alone was really hard, like using screenshots. Video was good, but people want GIFs and screenshots and text. And doing that with a unique camera mechanic was just difficult, so I just wanted the demo to always be there. And then, with the updated art styles, that obviously led to the demo needing to be updated again and again and again, and it was just a waste of time. That was months of work that, really, if I didn't do that, the game would have released earlier. The thing is, the game might have released earlier, but the game wouldn't have been what it was. So, I'm going to tell you a little secret that'll probably make game designers shit themselves, and that is that just over a month before release, before I started the crazy crunch time towards launch, is when I came up with the awesome twist that is right at the end. Now, I'm not going to spoil it for you, you should really go ahead and play it for yourself, but it's just something I'm really proud of, that if the game had released months earlier, I wouldn't have had that, and I think it was pretty integral to the story and for everything to make sense. The plot of the game had always been kind of planned out, but this little twist and just changing things around a little bit I think was just really beneficial. So yeah, not releasing earlier was good in a way. Alright, so let's talk about what's next. Now, we'll start with We Are Not Alone and then we'll go into the general company stuff. But for We Are Not Alone, the biggest things now are console ports and translations, because there's a lot of people who want to play this game. You know, Europe loves their adventure games and it's not translated yet for them. So those are the two biggest things. I have always, since starting to develop We Are Not Alone, I had two reasons for doing the small environments and having the loading screens. That was to keep it kind of claustrophobic so you don't feel like you're exploring too much in terms of open areas, but also so it can run on Switch, because I would really love to have my game running on a handheld. And I know like handheld PCs are now going absolutely crazy, but for some reason I just really want my game on a Nintendo console. So once I have the funds to get the development kit for the Nintendo Switch, it'll be basically spending a fair chunk of time getting that to work. This game runs on very low-end PC hardware, so I don't think it'll be too much of a problem porting it to the Switch. So what is next for the company, for Stasis Booth Games? So We Are Not Alone is released. There will be patches, but basically it's going kind of into a maintenance mode, where I just patch and deal with that. Anything happens, I can fix it, that's fine. But what is actually next? What's my next big plan? Because I really just want to keep moving and making more games. So in the end credits of We Are Not Alone, it mentions that Undead Rehab is a thing. Yes, and that is a game I was going to originally make instead of We Are Not Alone, but I needed to upskill just a little bit, so that is something I'm really looking forward to working on, but we'll see. It's way too early to really be talking about what Undead Rehab is. I'm really excited, but it's not going to be another point and click with alternate camera perspectives. I just really want every game I do to be something a little bit fresh. Alright, it's about time to wrap this up, but I want to say just a really big thank you. The past, I think it's about 14 months, has been absolutely crazy, and the development of We Are Not Alone has been just crazy ups and downs. Developing the demo, pitching to Screen Australia, you know, all these funding partners, and then doing the crowdfunding, and then just everything. Like, even if you don't interact with these videos, just watching them makes me happy. Knowing that people are watching and getting some kind of value from what I'm doing, and then those people that have played and left positive reviews, it's just phenomenal. I'm actually really proud of myself. I think I've done good with We Are Not Alone. So yeah, thank you to everyone that has helped in any way, shape, or form. Another thing I really want to do is do a quick shout out to the voice actors that lent their time and voices to We Are Not Alone. So we've got Darren Y, who played Jeff. We've got Kaylee May, who played Riley. Shay Unicorn, who played Charlie. Vandra O, who played the Administrator. Serene September played Laura. Diana X Gaming played various voices. I won't spoil what those various voices are because it's actually kind of cool. It's something, again, I did kind of last minute. I'm like, you know what? Having that voice there would be kind of cool. And finally, Sebastian / God of Horror, who played the soldiers and the various TV and radio broadcasts throughout the game. You have no idea what it means to me, all of you that played the demo, really saw what the game was about, and really wanted to help bring it to life, really. You know, the game was there, but hearing these voices, it was a mad rush to get them in right at the end, but hearing all these voices, it just elevated the game so much more and made it feel amazing. So thank you so much. All right, now it's time for me to actually wrap this up. If you haven't yet wishlisted, I have done this take so many times and I keep saying the wrong thing, so I'm going to leave that in. It's not wishlisting anymore, it's purchasing. So, if you haven't yet purchased We Are Not Alone on Steam, GOG, or Epic, please go and do so. It's available now, and if you enjoy it, please leave a review. It really helps with store visibility. I'm really hoping with this channel to get back in the saddle and start making more consistent content. What it will be is, I don't really know, because the devlogs are kind of ended. We Are Not Alone's dev cycle is done. It'll probably be more post-mortem videos on We Are Not Alone, but as for what else will be on the channel, I think it's going to surprise both of us. Because I really don't know yet. Whether I go back to doing some general game dev, you know, tutorial stuff, that actually might be really fun. I've got a lot to talk about. I've got crazy amounts of notes in Notion about videos I wanted to make. It's just, there was no time. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But anyway, once again, my name is Andrew from Stasis Booth Games. I just released We Are Not Alone, and it's going well. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for absolutely everything over the past year. And until next time, stay indie.